You are making the world a better place by listening to the Joy of Living podcast. This is your guide to achieving a more purposeful, powerful, and positive life. Join Barry Shore in unlocking the best version of you and becoming happier, healthier, and wealthier. And now, here's your ambassador of joy, Barry Shore.
Good day, beautiful, bountiful, beloved, immortal beings, and good-looking people. You're good-looking, so I was looking for and finding the good. You found good in abundance because you tuned in consciously and conscientiously to the joy of living. With your humble host, Barry Shore, the ambassador of joy. Notice I didn't say the ambassador of joy. The ambassador of joy. And you tuned in consciously and conscientiously for one reason and one reason only. It's the best reason in the whole world because you care the most in the entire world about you. Y-O-U, which is great, by the way, because when you become the best you make the world a better place. You build more bridges of harmony, create more joy, happiness, peace, and love in the world. And you're going to be filled to overflowing with it today. You're just going to be on the edge of your seat. You're going to be on a racetrack and going into limitless growth with our amazing, wonderful Dr. Mark Young. Will be on just a couple of minutes. Now you tuned in because you know that on this show, we discuss the three fundamentals of life. And when you utilize, internalize, and leverage these three fundamentals of life, the result is you'll be happier, healthier, and wealthier. Who doesn't want that? Now, of course, the three fundamentals are, number one, life. Your life has purpose. When you lead a purpose-driven life, number two happens. It's a good number two. You go mad. Now, MAD is a wonderful acronym that stands for Make a Difference. Lead a purpose-driven life, you make a difference in the world. And the third fundamental is to uncover the power and the secrets of everyday words and terms. Simple example. Right now, hundreds of thousands of people, about 509,722 people around the world are watching this or listening to this carried over the internet. Now, ask anybody, what does www stand for? Invariably, it stands to do with the internet. Factually speaking, they're correct. However, in our world, the world of the positive, purposeful, powerful, and pleasant, WWW stands for what a wonderful world. And what is a word, right? WHATA. And of course, when you a big tip of the hat and a thank you to Louis Armstrong, Satchmo, for enabling that song, What a Wonderful World, to go viral and not just touch tens of millions or hundreds of millions, but billions of people around the planet. And when you hear the opening bars of What a Wonderful World, what do you do right away? You can't help it. You smile. Now, smile is one of the most important words you can internalize, utilize, and leverage in your life because smile stands for seeing miracles in life every day. That's right, seeing miracles in life every day. Now, right away, some people raising their hand and say, hey, Barry Shore, I've been up for hours already. Haven't seen any miracles. And I asked them, are you here? Can you hear? Can you stand still? I can't do that. Can you walk? I can feel you that. You have water to drink, you have food to eat, you have a place to sleep, you have family, you have friends. Every single one of those is a miracle. And what's the proof? Simple proof. 1 million people didn't get out of bed this morning. You know why? They died. By definition, if you're watching, listen, you didn't. Therefore, you have an obligation to live life to full exuberance. Now, let me tell you a quick story. It's about me. Imagine, if you can, I'm standing up in the morning, completely healthy and hearty, able to leave tall buildings in a single bound. In the evening, I'm in the hospital, totally, completely paralyzed, my neck down. And it was not from an automobile accident. It wasn't a spinal injury. It was a rare disease, which I never heard of the day before, took over my body and caused me to be called a quadriplegic. Nothing in the body moved. I could only communicate by blinking my eyes. I was 144 days in the hospital. I was in a hospital bed in my own home for 2 years. I couldn't move. I was in a wheelchair for 4 years. I had braces on both my legs, from my hips to my ankles. That was progress. Thank God today I'm able to be vertical in the ambulatory with the help of a 7-foot walking wand. So I'm a triped, not a biped. Can't walk up a stair by myself. Can't walk up a curb by myself. I have help 12 hours a day, 7 days a week. But you hear my voice. Positive, purposeful, powerful, and pleasant because of one word. Smile. Seeing miracles in life every day. Now, I got to tell you a quick story, though. My 8-year-old niece comes over to me a few weeks ago and says, Uncle Barry, can we spell smile? S-M-I-E-L. I thought about it. Smile, smile. Sounds the same. Why not? I asked her how come. She says, because then it would stand for seeing miracles in everyday life out of the mouth of an 8-year-old. But what was she doing? She was creating the kind of world that she wants to live in. Now, CREATE is a fabulous acronym. It stands for causing rethinking, enabling all to excel. We're going to do a lot of rethinking today. Rethinking really means a slight shift in perspective. And I've been working with people for more than 4.5 decades. And when they come to me, on paper, they're doing fantastically well. When I start talking to them, it turns out they drop the F in shift, and the other stuff happens. You got to be effing careful with your F. You want to shift your perspective just a little bit. Then the result is you can internalize, utilize, and leverage the 6 most important words you'll ever learn. And these are choice, not chance, determines your destiny. Choice, not chance, determines your destiny. How you choose to respond in any given situation will determine the path of your life and your trajectory. Now, before we bring on amazing, wonderful Dr. Mark Young, and he is young, he's dynamic, he's fabulous. I want to warn everybody, every week, we now have an extra 10 to 20,000 people that come on the show because you're inviting them, and it's wonderful. And I urge you, remember, share this with 5 people. You want to share with 50 or 100, that's great. But share with 5 people. That way we can touch 2.5, 3 million people around the world. And of course, love us on Spotify and Apple. Don't just like us, love us. Share with 5 people. So before we bring on Mark and to warn new people listening, I do use a lot of 4-letter words. I even use the 4-letter FU word. I do it because of shock value and it's fun. Now, of course, the 4-letter words that we use, because we live in the world of the positive, purposeful, powerful, and pleasant, are love, life, hope, free, gift, play, pray, swim. And the 4-letter word is fun. Fun, that's right. F-U, capital N, capital N. People raise their hand right and say, Barry, sure. Fun's only spelled with 3 letters. Not in our world. In our world, it's F-U, capital N, capital N. So after the show, you see family and friends, twinkle in your eyes, smile in your face, point your fingers at F-U, everybody. Remember to add capital N, capital N. Why? You got their attention. And now you can share with them all the amazing things that you learned and heard by listening to Barry Shore and Mark Young. So before we bring on Mark, I just want to urge everybody, use the 2 most powerful words in the English language 3 times a day. From now and the rest of your life, you'll be happier, healthier, and wealthier. These 2 words are thank you, thank you, thank you. Thanks stands for to harmonize and nurture kindness. Kind is a fabulous word that stands for keep inspiring noble deeds. I can't think of anybody that inspires noble deeds more than Dr. Mark Young. Mark, please say hello to 511,927 people around the world.
Well, Barry, that is a very specific number you have there.
Yes, well, now it's up. You just brought 3 more people in.
Well, it is great being with you here. You have infectious energy.
Well, that's the infection we want to spread around the world. That's why I have you on, Mark, because you are the essence. By the way, your name says it all. How do you spell Young? Y-O-U-N-G. So you are the essence of Young.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Well, of course, as somebody who deals in the space of longevity, it's actually a pretty good name to have for somebody that works in longevity.
And we're going to go there right away. I just want to tell people, if I started reading all the stuff about Mark Young, we'll take the rest of the show. So I'm going to give you 3 data points. Number 1, which has 2 parts to it, he's a polymath and a Renaissance man. Now, you have to look those up if you don't know what those things mean. He is just insatiable when it comes to learning and doing and things like that. Number 2 is that he puts the capital E in the word entrepreneur. What do I mean? E stands for enthusiasm. That's his being. He also holds the Guinness Book of Record currently for the oldest male rookie professional race car driver. We'll unpack that a little bit later. And what I like about him most, he's happily married for decades. So without that, let's talk right away. You said it, baby. You want to start with the L word? Longevity.
Well, Barry, I'll tell you the thing for you. I don't hide my age from anybody. I'm just turned 68. And at 68 years old, there's very little that I can't do that I could do when I was 30 years old.
Wait a minute. That's a big, bold, audacious, bodacious statement.
Mm-hmm.
Give us an example, please.
Well, the example is I decided to take up auto racing only 8 years ago. So I took up auto racing at the age of 60. I took up auto racing at an age where most professional drivers have been retired for 20 years. And not only did I become a pro driver and have a team, I have right there on the wall that is the Guinness World Record as the oldest professional rookie race car driver. And in fact, right next to that is a plaque, because not only did I run my first professional race to get that award, but I actually won that race. And I got to tell you a little story about that.
Yes, please.
The team and I were getting ready to go after this Guinness record. And the goal was I needed to get in the race and finish the race. I didn't have to win the race to get the Guinness record. I just had to be in it. Okay. So 2 weeks prior, I run several companies. And one of those companies is an advertising agency. And I was talking to one of our clients, and I was saying to the client, they were being too cautious. And when I say cautious, people get this mindset around the scarcity mindset instead of around this abundance mindset. So I could tell that they were having a scarcity moment. And I said to the client, are you playing to win or are you playing not to lose? And I was correct. And then when I got off that call, I said to myself, oh boy, I just convicted myself because I'm going after the Guinness record, playing not to lose, not playing to win. So I had to tell the rest of the team, I'm like, okay, new plan. We're going to go there to win the race. And then it was like, yeah, but if you don't get in the race and don't finish the race, you won't get the Guinness record. And that's fine. We'll go after it another time. We're going to go in there and try to win the race. So I had to shift my own thinking to, no. Let's not play. And this is a big thing I think people do in life, Barry, is they play not to lose. They don't play to win. We get all wrapped up in, how can I be cautious? How can I protect what I have? And I'll give you an example. My son just wrote a book called Radical Generosity, and a great book. And one of the things that he points out in the book is that giving is an abundance mindset, and giving helps the giver, and winning helps the winner. And we have to not have this scarcity mindset. And I see this so much. I see this right now in politics, Barry. I see people, like Bernie Sanders and Elizabeth Warren and AOC, and they're running around and telling people we have to fight billionaires. Billionaires are bad because billionaires are hoarding all the money. And they don't understand, it does not matter how much money someone else hoards, because you can make more. They have this picture that there's only so many dollars in the world, and if you have too many of them, I can't have any.
So let's put you on pause for the moment, because I want to iterate several things. First of all, there's so much here that's good to unpack. We have a broad-based worldwide audience. 85% of the people listening are under the age of 35. Most of them do not live in the United States of America. Everybody wants to live in the United States of America.
Absolutely.
Why? Because of what you just said, Mark. Is because America means growth. It means limitless growth. It means the idea of abundance. It's not a zero-sum game. It's not a limited pie. The genius of capitalism, conscious capitalism, is growth. And I want to share with you about your idea of your team. So everybody knows there's a sort of tired acronym for team, not the Barry Shore one. Barry Shore team spells together, everyone achieves miracles. And that's what you did. When you went into the race to win, it doesn't matter, by the way, if you didn't. You went in to win. That's the genius of living life to the full, what I call the American way of life. And you're right, billionaires, that's great. That means there's more out there.
Right. It doesn't matter how much somebody else has, because you can build wealth. And the example I give people is simply this. Let's say I go and I buy a house. I buy a beat up house for $40,000. And then I go out and I buy $20,000 worth of home improvement products. And I fix this house up myself with my own two hands. So I have $60,000 in this house. Now this house is worth $100,000. I put the house up for sale. I sell the house for $100,000. I did not cheat the person who bought it for $100,000 because obviously it was worth $100,000 of them or they would not pay for it. I just printed $40,000 that didn't exist yesterday. I didn't need Elon Musk to give me $40,000 out of his money because I just printed $40,000. Because wealth is built by bringing value to others.
The V word, victory, value.
Bringing value to others. That's how wealth is created. And when you talk about America, I will tell you what I tell people right now. If you were born in the United States, you already won the lotto. So stop whining about what you don't have, because you have more opportunity sitting in front of you than 95% of the world. Just go get it.
Woo! Okay, again, let's unpack something here, because we have people. Recently, I got some text emails from Bhutan and the Republic of Congo. People all over the world are listening to this, and they're sharing with people because we bring the joy of living, and you are speaking the American gospel.
I have activities going in the Congo right now.
Okay, you see, the genius of life is that it's a mindset. And the mindset that Mark is bringing to us right now gives you that, what we call that shift in perspective. Remember, you got to keep the F in place and shift, or the other stuff happens, Mark, right? You want to keep that F in shift. So let's use your race car and shift into the next gear and talk more about limitless growth, because there is no limit to growth, no matter where you are in the world. Am I correct?
Absolutely. So as my dear friend Dan Sullivan is well known for saying, and that is, your future must be bigger than your past. At 68 years old, I believe, Barry, and I know I'm correct, I believe that the biggest accomplishments of my life have not happened yet, that they are in front of me. Everything behind me was just getting ready. That was the prep work for what is going to happen next. When your future isn't bigger than your past, the universe starts to ask for the parts back. Or
That's beautiful. I want you to repeat that and say it louder.
When your future isn't bigger than your past, the universe asks for the parts back.
Whew.
Or as Dan Sullivan says, and Dan Sullivan, I got to tell you folks, Dan Sullivan is 81 years old, and he has a 25-year business plan he's working on right now. So when we look at this stuff, when we think about, the future having to be bigger than the past, without it, you don't have a vision. Where hope dies, where vision dies, the people perish. We have to have that future, no matter what. If you are alive, if you got up this morning and you were able to get out of bed and move, you have a future.
Okay, on that high note, don't go away. Speaking about things in future, we have people who love the show, and we wouldn't have these sponsors on if we didn't think that they're worth your time and attention. So, edge of your seat, don't go away. Mark is coming back, and this brief message will be right back. Don't go away.
Hello, skincare connoisseurs. If you think you have tried everything in skincare, you are going to love what I am about to tell you. I'm pharmacist Benjamin I. Fuchs. I'm a dermatology pharmacist, and what I've discovered in my compounding pharmacy after decades of working with patients with skin traumas and skin diseases is the missing link in skincare is topical essential nutrition. And because of this missing link, we're not maximizing the potential of topical skincare. We're leaving skin beauty and skin health on the table. And that's why I formulated my Truth Treatments. Listen, the skin's an organ. It needs and wants and craves nutrients, vitamins, minerals, amino acids, fatty acids, and plant-derived minerals, and now it can get them in super high concentrations in my Truth Treatments. Originally formulated for dermatologists and their patients, now they're available to you. Check them out today at truthtreatments.com, and I know you are going to love the truth.
Good day, beautiful, bountiful, beloved, immortal beings, and good-looking people. Maybe you're good-looking, so always looking for and finding the good. Our cup runneth over with good. His name is Mark Young, and he is talking about future, about limitless, about growth, about the ability to be young at heart. And he tells people to F you regularly. Now, of course, he adds right away, capital N, attention. And now we can talk to him about what's happening in your life. So let's continue. We're talking about Dan Sullivan creating a business, a 25-year business plan for the future. Right. And most people would say, well, gee, isn't that a bit old? And he would say, my name is Young. Hello, Y-O-U and F-U. So let's continue on this path, this magnificent roadway of growth.
I'm going to give you a couple other Dan comments. One of Dan's little jokes is whenever the Grim Reaper shows up, he said, look busy. So he moves on to someone else. Here's something that we have to keep in mind. The eye only sees and the ear only hears what the mind goes looking for. If you go looking for abundance, if you go looking for miracles, if you go looking for good things, chances are that's the majority of what you're going to find. If you go looking for the disasters, if you go looking for everything that's wrong, you will find that also. And I will give you, and this is part of the human brain. So I'll give an example. I'm a neuroscientist and a psychologist. Our brains are hardwired to seek things. We are pattern recognition machines. So let's say that you go out and you buy a blue pickup truck. Now, all of a sudden, as you're driving around in your new blue pickup truck, what do you see around you?
Blue pickup trucks everywhere.
Now everybody has a blue pickup truck, don't they? Because your mind is now looking for them. I'll even give everybody, I'm going to give everyone a fun little game that I play with people. And this, I can play with this with one-on-one, but I can do this in mass. And that is, I'm going to tell everybody that within the next 48 hours, they are going to find some form of money on the ground. Could be a $100 bill, could be a penny, could be a quarter. But I want everyone to know in the next day or two, you're going to find some money laying on the ground. Now, if you absorb that thought, if you say, okay, Dr. Mark says, I'm going to find money on the ground and I'm going to look for money on the ground. You know what? You will find money on the ground within the next 2 days. Because it's there. You just weren't looking for it. There's money laying all over the place. People drop change and stuff all the time. Right. You find what you go looking for. Okay, first of all, let's unpack something. So I think in the technical term is called the reticular activator. Yes, it's in the right here in the back of your head, right there. Reticular activating system. You and what wonderful Mark is telling everyone
is that you are in control of it. So when you program and say, I am finding money, not just looking for money, I'm going to find money on the ground, by definition, it will happen because you attract into your life that which is what you think about. So when you attract into your life and have thoughts of winning, of growing, of being better and the most that you can be, well, guess what will happen? By definition, it has to. It's the law of the universe. Is that right, Mark? Isn't it a law of the universe?
It is, but I want people to be careful. There are people who will get themselves wrapped up in, I'm going to envision something. So Barry, I'm going to envision that I own a new McLaren, and I'm going to put a picture of it on the wall, and I'm going to have a picture on the mirror, and every day I'm going to look out my driveway and see if someone dropped it off. That's not how this works. The way this works is I want to drive a new McLaren. Okay, which, by the way, I do drive a new McLaren. I want to drive a new McLaren. I'm going to go looking for the opportunities that will allow me to do that. And I still have my part. God's got his part. I've got my part. God can make the opportunities. God can give me wisdom. He can give me gifts that I can use, but it's still on me to go use them. So sitting around, the laws of attraction are not sitting in your bedroom with a photograph of something waiting for someone to drop it off. The laws of attraction is when you go out looking for certain opportunities and you have passion and you are bringing value to other people will spot your value, they will spot your passion, and they will want to do things with you. So that's how you make luck.
Let's unpack a few things here. Again, I'm going to urge everybody, do not take notes. Just experience, Mark. Just feel of it. The beauty of this situation is that this is recorded. By the way, people 100 years from now will be watching this and saying, yeah, I am so glad I found Barry and Mark. This is fabulous. The genius of this is don't take notes, don't write stuff down. Feel it, experience it. You can go back and watch it again. Everything you want to know about Mark is in the show notes. Let's talk about two things you just mentioned. The A word and the four-letter word ending in K. Action and work. It's a four-letter word ending in K.
It is.
In action.
But it's more than just work, because people will, I'm going to go back to the abundance mindset versus the scarcity mindset. The scarcity mindset says, well, if somebody puts in 40 hard hours working at a restaurant, which is hard work and honorable work, and somebody puts in 40 hours being the CEO of General Motors, that the person putting the 40 hours in the restaurant probably worked harder than the person who spent 40 hours running General Motors. Why is the person running General Motors worth 500 times more per hour than the person working in the restaurant? Because effort-wise, they put in the same effort. Maybe the lower paid guy even put in more effort. Because in America, we're a capitalist country. We're a meritocracy. So how it works is we don't reward people based on their effort or how many hours they work. We reward people based on the value they create. So if you can create tremendous value in an hour a week, God love you, get rich working an hour a week. It's about the value you bring to others, not about the effort that you put in. Now, all that being said, bringing values to others sometimes takes a lot of effort and does take a lot of work. But you have to get your mind out of the idea of, I'm working this hard, so I deserve this. No, you don't deserve anything. You need to go create value for other people. So, Barry, I will tell you something. Every time I meet somebody, and I mean this with all sincerity, anybody who knows me will know this is true, I never end that relationship without asking them, that meeting, what can I do for you? Because I want to know how I can bring somebody value. My goal is I want to bring value to every person that meets me, whether they're a waitress, whether they're a client, whether they're a doctor, whatever they are. How can I bring value to them and not expect something back?
So this is, wait a minute. You just gave us that key that fits into the lock. And when you turn it, the vault opens. It's the word, we'll call it the S word, service. How can I be of service to you?
Do not expect something back. However, there is another law of the universe, which is called the law of reciprocity.
Yes.
And good humans, now, by the way, there are humans that are psychotic, that are narcissistic, that are sociopathic, and those people will use you. And you identify those people and you find them and you reduce them from your life because they're draining your life energy. And you don't be mad at them. You don't want to do anything bad to them. You just need to know that they're vampires that are drawing on you. But when you deal with other normal, healthy people and you bring value to them, they will keep a little ledger in their head. And that ledger says, Barry is one up on me. Barry's done something for me and I haven't repaid that to Barry. Unconsciously, could be in the next 5 years, my unconscious mind is going to look for an opportunity to pay Barry back. And here's why I say that. When we think about the human brain, folks, you have a conscious mind and an unconscious mind. The conscious mind, I want you to picture in your mind a grape. And that grape is sitting on a dime, and the grape and the dime are sitting on a beach ball. The grape represents your conscious awareness. And your conscious awareness is capable of doing 7 bits of information per second, plus or minus 2. And this is why phone numbers are 7 digits, because people can't remember more than that. France.
Don't tell me about area codes too.
Right. France once went to an 8-digit area code or 8-digit phone number years ago, and they almost had another French Revolution when they tried to do it. So you have this conscious brain that can manage 7 bits of information. You have this dime. This dime represents critical faculty. And now the beach ball. And the beach ball represents your unconscious mind, which can process 10,000 bits of information per second. And your unconscious mind is always focused on doing what's right for you. So when we think about this, so I'll give you a quick example. You get in your car and you're going to drive to the office. When you get in the car, you don't sit in the car and say, where does this sticky silver thing go? Oh, wait a minute. There's a hole here. Let me stick it in this hole. Should I turn the sticky thing? Okay. And then there's this round circle in front of me. What does that do? And then there's these 2 pedals down here. Maybe I should push on one. Nope. There's this lever. I need to pull this lever and put it into this D thing. Your unconscious mind, which is a pattern recognition machine, has already recorded how to do it. You open the door, you jump in the car, you close the door, you turn the car on. It all happens automatically without thought. Except today the car didn't start. Now you kick into the conscious mind because the car didn't start, which broke the pattern.
Right. That was just a pattern interruptus, pi.
Correct. Now the pattern's interrupted and the conscious mind comes in. So back to this reciprocity, that conscious mind is recording all of those people who have done kindness for you. And someday you're going to look for an opportunity to do that kindness back. Now, maybe I'll do that kindness back for Barry. Maybe I'll do that kindness back for Barry's nephew someday. Maybe I'll do it for somebody who just listens to Barry. But I'm going to remember Barry did this thing for me, and now I'm going to pass that on and do it for somebody else. This is how you find miracles. This is how you find opportunity.
Hey, wait a minute. Let's pause and unpack a few things here, because people are on the edge of their seat. They really want, I urge you again, you don't want to write this down. You just want to feel this, experience it. You want to see the vision of the grape on the dime, on the...
It's a great visual, isn't it?
It's a fabulous... Well, I'm going to ask you a quick question. I mean, only because I'm fascinated by what I'm going to ask you. So we have a grape. It happens to be, for me at the moment, it's a nice green seedless grape.
Mm-hmm.
The dime, here's a real question. Is the dime sitting flat?
Flat.
Perpendicular?
It's flat.
Okay, I put it as flat so I could rest it. However...
And it's there to demonstrate how thin it is.
Oh, very good. I was just switching it to being vertical and saying, wow, what a balancing act, and talk about how thin that is and how cool that is, and this beautiful big beach ball. And then what I did, Mark, is I added something under the beach ball, a seal, and playing with it and having fun, because what you just discussed is the ability to see the world in a 3, 4, and 5 dimensional way, because it's not just one person to one person. It now takes on the ripple effect. Like you said, it could be you're going to do something for Barry's nephew. Well, that's not bad. Well, yes, that's still Barry, but that's a ripple effect that transcends time and space. And everything you've been discussing with us today is exactly that, isn't it? The ability to transcend time and space.
My friend Joe Polish has a saying that he says quite frequently. And Joe Polish's comment is, life gives to the givers and it takes from the takers. And Barry, I have to tell you that I have always, I'd have to say 99% of the cases, that always bears out true. You can believe in a karma, you can believe in universe, you can believe in God, however you want to posture this. The more people try to be takers and the more they try to grip tightly onto whatever they have, the more it slips through their fingers.
Again, let's go back to the beach, picking up a whole handful of sand and gripping it. You'll notice that handful of sand, if you had opened your palm, you'll have a large amount of sand. And the palm is the expression of giving. If you grip the sand, you're going to end up with very little, right?
Well, another thing that Joe says all the time is, you can't fix the world with broken hands. So where am I going with that? That means simply this. In case of an emergency, oxygen masks will drop from the ceiling. Put yours on first before helping others.
Yes.
So not only do we need to be open, not only do we need to have open hands, not clenched fists, not only do we need to bring value to others, but we need to recognize the value of ourselves. One of the things that I ask, that I will, Barry, I know you're going to believe me and agree with me on this. I believe that if most people had a friend who self-talked, who talked to them like they self-talk to themselves, they would refuse to have that friend in their life.
Well, I want you to repeat that again, because it's one of the most important aspects of what's happening in America and the world today. And it's disastrous. It
is unconscious self-loathing. And it's simply this. Listen to your internal self-talk. When you start talking to yourself that I'm not good enough, I'm not smart enough, I'm not pretty enough, I don't have enough money, I'm not tall enough, I'm too fat, whatever it is you're having the conversation, ask yourself, would I let another human being talk to me like this? What would I do if somebody came up to me and started talking to me like that?
So this is let's do two things here. I love acronyms, and we say our show is built around understanding the positive, purposeful, powerful, pleasant aspect of words. I think you're going to love this one, Mark. This is the Barry Shore definition of self-talk. You ready?
Mm-hmm.
Recognizing that you are a soul experiencing life fully, teaching always love and kindness. That's your self-talk. Teaching always love and kindness. On that high note, we're going to come back right in after this brief message with Dr. Mark Young, because this is explosive in the most positive, purposeful, powerful, pleasant way. Be right back. Don't go away. Great. So much is coming up.
What if you could shop at your favorite local stores, swipe your current credit card, and get extra cashback rewards? And what if you could also have donations sent to your favorite cause at no extra cost to you? What if this amazing program was absolutely free and very simple to set up? Well, What If is here. Welcome to Einstein Cares, where your everyday shopping gives you and your favorite cause extra money. It's fast, it's easy, and effortless.
Good day, beautiful, bountiful, beloved little beings, and good-looking people. If you're good-looking, you're always looking for and finding the good. We found good and abundance. His name is Mark Young, and he is leading us on a pathway in the driver's seat in the McLaren, going 138 miles per hour on an open track, winning.
It's way too slow, Barry.
175.
You're getting there.
Not even breaking a sweat.
So, Barry, we were talking about people's self-talk, and people would never allow somebody to talk to them the way they talk to themselves. You have to pay attention to that. So I have a little technique that I teach people to help them with their self-talk. And here's the technique. Notice the voice. So first off, when you're hearing the self-talk, pay attention and figure out whose voice it is. Is it your voice? Is it your mother's voice? Your father's voice? Is it a spouse's voice? Whose voice are you hearing in your head? So first, understand you may be hearing things from other people that you keep bringing back up that just aren't true. Now, here's how you fix it. Change the voice. So what I want you to do, folks, is let's say the self-talk is your own voice. If I only had more money, if I was only better at this, whatever the case is, change the voice to the most humorous cartoon character you know. Whatever cartoon character you think is funny, if it's Marge Simpson, Donald Duck, Bugs Bunny, change the voice that is beating you up to that cartoon voice. You don't even have to change the words, just change the voice. And if you focus on all of a sudden Marge Simpson is telling me that I'm not good looking enough, it's going to be really hard to take Marge Simpson serious, isn't it?
Right. Oh, this is so good.
So, Barry, I had a guy come to see me one day, and I don't practice, but I will sometimes see people to help them. And he came to see me because he's married, great marriage, loves his wife, cannot stand his mother-in-law. I mean, he says, I cannot be in the same room with her. And I said to him, I'm like, okay, so tell me the awful things she does to you. Does she insult you? Does she pry in your marriage? What is she doing? He's like, I can't really say she's doing anything terrible. He goes, I just don't like her. Now, by the way, folks, this happens. There are just certain people that my spirit doesn't work with your spirit and we don't gel. But this was causing a problem in his marriage. So I took him and I put him in a hypnotic trance because I happen to be a hypnotherapist. And I put him in a hypnotic trance. And I had him sitting in a theater. And in the theater, we're in a big theater, and I had a 40-foot screen up. I said, now I want you to imagine you walk out, you see yourself on the screen, your mother-in-law walks out, your wife is there, your mother-in-law is talking, and you hear her speaking. But as you hear her speaking, you all of a sudden notice she has a big red clown nose on. And you look over and you say to yourself, why is she wearing a clown nose? But she's still talking. But now all of a sudden her voice has changed into Marge Simpson. And you see her with this clown nose on, and she has blue hair that's all wrapped up on top of her head, like Marge Simpson. And she's talking like Marge Simpson. And as you look over, you start laughing. Now, then I brought him out of trance and I sent him home. 2 weeks later, I heard back from him. This will tell me what happened. So my mother-in-law came over. She started talking. I started laughing. My wife said to me, why are you laughing? And he said, all I said to my wife was, because I'm happy, and isn't that better than me being mad at your mom?
Woo! Talk about love, baby. That is beautiful.
And his wife said, yeah, I suppose it is. And that was it. And they moved on. And he's not irritated by her because we changed his frame of who he saw. And this happens, Barry, when we look at in America right now and other parts of the world, we look at people and we don't see them as humans. We see them as this thing. You're a Republican. That makes you horrible. You're a Democrat. That makes you horrible. And we don't stop to say, no, you're a human. And I'm a Republican and you're a Democrat, which is 5% of our personality. Let me look at the other 95% of you and see you as a human and see what we have in common. What do we share? Because if we look for the things we share, we'll find them. The other thing that I always try to get people to look for is, I believe that it's my job to find out what someone else can teach me. So, yes, I'm a doctor. What would a homeless person be able to teach me? I stop and talk to homeless people all the time. Why? Because I've never been a homeless person, lived on the street, and I'd like to hear about their struggles. I'd like, I'll stop and ask them, how did you get here? What happened? What land did you hear? And what do you do at night? And what do you do when it's cold out? And I think that's great information. And that person has the ability to genuinely teach that to me.
Let me put you on pause on something. I want everybody to understand something that I just felt moving through my very being. You asked that person his story. Did you hear the word?
Mm-hmm.
That's a person.
It's another human.
And to be able to get to that relationship level of looking at another human being. And by the way, I think that's one of the greatest aspects of the American tradition, is that we do really want to look at each other as people. We have struggles. This country's been through so much. There's obviously all kinds of issues. However, overriding it all is this genuine desire to look at another human being and see another human being. And I think that is the grandeur of the American experience, what I call American exceptionalism.
Absolutely. When you think about America and you think about capitalism, I know we're bouncing around here a lot, but capitalism is an operating system. It's not a philosophy, it's an operating system. It's an operating system to run a country. And capitalism is very simple to describe. Capitalism is a system where two complete and total strangers can have an interaction to each other's benefit.
Woo! Everybody hear that? Around the world, to each other's benefit. It's built on what we call the win-win-win system.
Right.
I have to put you on pause for a moment, Mark, because I have words that I loathe to say. However, I'm going to say them. We're coming to a close in our time together at this moment. Now, I have 3 questions for you. Are you ready?
I'm ready.
Number 1, will you come back again?
Absolutely. It's been a pleasure. And you're a wonderful host.
Thank you. Number 2, Dr. Mark Young, you have 80 seconds to answer this question. What is your most fervent desire?
What is my most fervent desire? Boy, that's a tough one, Barry. That's a really good question.
Wait a minute, isn't that why I get paid the big bucks?
My biggest desire is to be of value to other people. That really is my biggest value. I want to be of value to my family, my wife, my kids, my employees, my friends, my community, my country. I want to bring value to the world. And by bringing value to the world, I can help in some little way relieve suffering.
Value equals relieve suffering. Thank you, Mark Young. And number 3, may I give you a hug in front of 513,724 people around the world?
Absolutely.
Let me tell you what HUG stands for. Ready? Heartfelt, unlimited giving. 1,
I like that.
3. Remember, you're listening to The Joy of Living with your host, Barry Shore. Our amazing special guest today, Dr. Mark Young. Remember, this show is not about Mark, great guy that he is, or Barry, fabulous fellow. This show is about you, Y-O-U. That's why you tune in, because when you become the best you make the world a better place. You build more bridges of harmony, create more joy, happiness, peace, and love in the world. We work with the 3 fundamentals of life. Number 1, life. Your life has purpose. Lead a purpose-driven life. You go MAD. MAD is a great acronym that stands for make a difference in the world. Like Mark says, go and out there and bring value, make a difference in the world. The 3rd is to unlock the power, the power and the secrets of everyday words and terms, such as www. What a wonderful world. And when you do all these things, you will be happier, healthier, and wealthier. And I can tell you, guaranteed, or your money back. Smile, seeing miracles in life every day. Or as my 8-year-old niece says, seeing miracles everyday life. Create the kind of world you want to live in, causing rethinking. Listen to Mark. Rethinking, enabling all to excel. And when you do that, what's going to happen? You're going to be able to internalize, utilize, and leverage the 6 most important words you'll ever learn, which are choice. Listen to Mark, what we said all this time. Choice, not chance, determines your destiny. How you choose to respond in any given situation will determine your pathway and your trajectory in life. Use 4-letter words. Now, of course, the world that we live in, 4-letter words are love, life, hope, play, pray, free, give, swim, and the FU word, FU, capital N, capital N. That's right, life is fun. Tell people after the show, point your finger, have a smile on your face, a twinkling eye, and say, FU, everybody. Remember to add capital N, capital N. So where'd you get that? I listened to Barry Shore on The Joy of Living. He had a Mark Young, and guess what we talked about? Now you got their attention, you can share with them. And then, of course, use the 2 most powerful words in the English language 3 times a day from now and the rest of your life. And the result will be you'll be happier, healthier, and wealthier. Remember, thank you, thank you, thank you. And a blessing from Mark and Barry. Go forth, live exuberantly, spread the seeds of joy, happiness, peace, and love.
Barry, I want to tell people if they want to learn more about me, they can go to meetmarkyoung.com.
Everything's in the show notes, baby. Everything.
There you go.
Okay, don't go away, Mark. We'll be right back. Don't go away.
Thank you for listening to this episode of the Joy of Living podcast. Now that's another step towards your healthier, happier, and wealthier life. Never hesitate to do good in the world, no matter what the situation. Join us for another upbeat discussion next time at barryshore.com. And be sure to leave a rating and subscribe to the show to get more conversations like this. And remember to share it with your family and friends too. See you on the next episode.